Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining this session today. We are going to talk about landing page optimization tips. And my name is Nilesh Patel. I'm the founder and CEO of Lead Squad. And I'll have my colleague Meenu also joining me. She will be addressing any questions you would have on chat. Okay, so we'll start the session now. Thank you all for joining this session on landing page optimization tips, which we'll cover today to help the marketers improve their conversion performance almost immediately. If you follow some of these tips and if your conversion are low. Quick 101 on landing pages. Most marketers, I'm assuming, would know this, but just to brush up for the marketers who's just getting into the game of digital and online marketing, I'll just talk about what are the just few quick starters for what a landing page is, how is it different from a regular or normal web page, and why marketers are using landing pages for increasing the conversions. Or so what is the common understanding of a landing page in the marketing parlance, right? So it's a page which basically has a particular offer which is being shown to the audience which is being targeted. So for example, if I'm selling a training product, I'm basically, my offer could be a discount, or it could be a free preview, or one of those things. So that's what I'm trying to convey. Now in landing page, the idea is to convey single offer so that we can get the attention of our audience and able to convert them in from visitor to lead, right? Then the key purpose of a landing page is to drive a desired action which the marketer wants, which in the situation of lead capture is when you are driving more leads, it's the key action the marketer want the visitor to take is give their information. Or you may also have a click-through page where you are just having a button there, which basically will take the visitor to the next step. And this could be any order page, or one of those pages, or just another form page, after which can be visited from a click. And usually this page is not part of your website navigation items, right? So it is separate page. It will have your website URL in the bit in between. So it could be it will be hosted typically on a subdomain. It can be pages dot whatever business domain name .com / the URL of the page. So that's a common understanding of the landing page in the marketing parlance. Now, how it is different from a web page? So the web page, if you see, and we all know, is basically our website is a description of what our business does, what products and services we offer. It has a corporate information elements, all kinds of things we are there. We write on the website. And this exactly is what landing page does not do. So landing page is not about how long we have been in business, and basically it's not supposed to say that information. It is designed to convert a visitor to a lead. So the purpose of the page really is to capture the attention of the visitor enough so that they are happy to take the offer which you're putting on the page, and give in exchange of that they give you their contact information. And because we want them to fill the page, fill the form, we would try to remove the elements which will basically distract them or take them to another page, which basically means if you have a navigation elements, they would redirect or take the visitor to another page, or could outside of the landing page, and which will basically result in a bounce, and not giving us a lead. So that is the reason we would avoid having a navigation element. Now there are school of thought, and marketers do keep trying things where they put other links, but that is entirely on the choice of the marketer. And if they perceive that by having a lower conversion gives them actually better customers, then that's a choice they have to make after doing the due experiment on that. So quickly, we'll show a simple page here. It's a page for somebody who's selling a travel and tour packages. So it has no navigation. All it says is you got a Thailand package starting from so and so price. This is a high level information of what the package offers. The content is very focused. So only if you're going for Thailand, then this is what you should see, which is a background picture, which will basically entice you further. So it's got that ability to attract and retain the audience interest for a longer duration, because you would like to see these things more closely. And then you have a quick offer there which says 20% off. So it will further encourage you to look, sign up. And then to avail the offer, it's asking you to fill the form. So basically here we are not we are only talking one thing, which is there is an offer on Thailand package, and there's no navigation. If you want it, just take it, basically. So that's the idea. Now, why would anybody use a landing page, right? So I mean, these are the key purpose, right, why a landing page has arrived on the digital marketing scene is primarily because the websites are not doing a good job of conversion. So that is a fundamental reason why landing pages have first arrived in first place. Now, if websites are not doing a good job of conversion, which means that landing pages will increase the visitor to lead conversion, and that is the reason why marketers should use that. Second, if you're really if your pages are helping you reduce the or increase the visitor to lead conversion, which means that your cost of lead will actually go down. And so that's another benefit of using landing pages. Then you would you if you use Lead Squad or any of the similar products, or focus products which only offer landing page solution. The another advantage which marketers need today, or another reason marketers need the landing page solution, is to be able to create offers very very quickly. Now, which means that take an example of I'm sure most of the marketers here have built websites, and either themselves or with in partnership with agencies, or working with the IT department to do so. Now, if you have worked with IT departments, you would know how difficult it is to even modify one character on the website, right? So that basically is a big deal. Now, for a marketer, you need to have a landing page, the very good control on landing pages, so you can quickly make changes to offers, because you're directly posting them on online campaigns and stuff. So you get the ability to create those offers quickly, modify the things on that. So for example, if you see that capturing fewer fields on the form helps you increase the conversion, and some of the fields which you're capturing are unnecessary. Now, that process doesn't involve, should ideally not involve, calling, making a call to IT or a development team to actually do it for you, because the marketer can now do it themselves. So these things, have a quick, turnaround time, which basically gives you the ability to do experiment faster, and do not involve the IT's help, so that you can you know uh, do marketing and less IT work, basically. And then so these tools offer you the ability to compare and identify which all the pages are working better. So there are two parts to the question here, which I sort of covered. One is why you should use a landing pages, and then there are reasons. You get tools out there which can actually help you do these things faster. So that helps you in the cause. Then in small research batch which we have done with some of our customers, we found that the lead conversion, the visitor to lead conversion, has increased by more than 3 times from what they've been using, or our customers have been looking at in the past. In some customers cases, it has been more than 10 times, and others has been less. So the customers where they've already been advanced marketers themselves, the net improvement has been only 50%, or in that range. But other customers, we have even seen 10x change in the visitor to lead. And the same, one sec. And there's another quick study from Marketing Sherpa, which basically says that 95% of the marketers are actually using landing pages effectively. both in B2B and B2C companies. So let me jump directly to the optimization tips on landing pages. So I'll start with the headline, which I believe is one of the most important things on a landing page. And this is something which usually the visitors notice first. And it has to have a compelling proposition, which we mentioned there, so that we are able to capture the attention of the visitor, as well as drive any relevance if there is one with them, so that they look further on the page. So how do we what are the elements which we must take care in the headline? In my opinion, in our opinion, the headline should be benefits driven. So it should talk about what are the benefits of somebody looking further on your page. So it could be things like you know let's say we will make you from an average guy to somebody big shot. Now that's a benefit. So if I so then I'll look further. Okay, what is this guy trying to tell me? Is saying me if you're an average guy, or let's say an engineer with no job, and I'm going to give you a job. So basically, that's a benefit. If I sign up, I'm going to get that. And relevance is a function of getting the right quality of lead. So, for example, if you are getting a traffic from a particular source, or driven by certain keywords, then those that traffic need to find relevance to what you're saying on the page. If they find the offer, or the headline, or the content of the page relevant, there is a good chance that you will have high conversion. So that's why the headline should be relevant to the traffic which comes in. Then you can have supporting a sub headline, which can talk a little bit more about about the headline itself, or supports the claim which you are making on the headline, right? And then you should make it visible enough. Doesn't mean that you should use the largest font available on the desktop, but the idea is that it should be it should be visible, both using the right size of font, color, and the background colors and stuff. And if it is relevant to the traffic intent, you will have very good conversion going on. And so that is again is an important point. So that's the headline piece, and we'll just to quickly talk about one sample page from one of our clients. So if you see, the headline says that if you're a techie, we'll help you make a business leader. So that's what it says, right? So it's pretty pointed, and talks about, so if I'm a techie, wanting to do something more in my life, then this will appeal me, because and I have aspirations to be a business leader, or somebody will want to climb the corporate ladder. Then I've got Sunstone Business School, which is basically telling me that I'm going to transform you from techie to a business leader. So and then I've got supporting headline, which basically gives me a little bit more qualification, which says, it's a one-year program. I'm a techie. I work 9 to 5 or 9 to 10, maybe, right? I'm sure some of you will be working a lot. And so it is a part-time program. So I'll say, oh, well, it makes sense, because I cannot entirely give my 2 years of job and take a program, but I've got this part-time option. So it sort of supports that part. And then in the left, you see the offer piece, which is basically going to further entice them to fill the form. So there is a reason why they can sign up now. So the headline here is benefit driven, and it is relevant to the audience. So with the audience which they're targeting are the techies out there who are looking to climb the corporate ladder. Now, a couple of examples here. So we've taken one example, from Quick Sprout. So they've done an experiment on this particular, So this is a company who sells closets, right? So now here, what they found is, by changing the headline, which is you see by the orange arrow, the conversion on this page increased by more than 100%, roughly 115%. Now, if you see, the other elements of the page remain the same. It's just that the headline has changed. Now, I also believe, because I've not been part of that particular experiment, I do not have got all the access to the different things. It may sometimes it is also a function of marketers driving more relevant traffic on the next page, right? Because as you do stuff, you will find more knowledge about your audience, and you try to tweak that. So that maybe has also contributed to this massive outperformance here, right? So it's a great example of what simple tweak in headline can actually give you the substantial jump in the performance. Then another simple story here. Now this one is a little bit finer one. It basically gives you the example of how you craft the headline. Now headlines can be crafted in multiple fashion. So there are three different elements here. One is simple benefit, right, which is more positive oriented, which says make money on your used cell phone, right? So that says okay, it gets that attention. Now there could be another way to write the same information, which says avoid losing money on your used cell phone. Now that has got a, so it's a loss aversion sort of idea in the headline. And then the third one is need to sell your used cell phone, which I'm sure most of you would be, if you're looking following ads from Quicker and there's another guy OLX, you would know what I'm talking, right? So they are more question oriented. Now what has been found in this experiment that the simple benefit line, the first one, has outperformed the other two. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean it will always outperform, but this has been one experiment, and there's one more I looked at. In both the cases, the benefit line, first one has outperformed. So the idea is for you to try this one out and see which one works for you better. But the first one has definitely outperformed. Now let's talk about the benefit itself. Now, the visitor who's coming in on the page, right, is not interested in what you sell. This is the first and fundamental thing the marketers need to understand. What they're looking for is what is that which is going to help them, or what is that they, whatever you're trying to sell them needs to be of benefit or of interest to the visitor. So unless that is there, they have very little interest in what you're trying to tell them. So how do we relay the benefit? So the benefit which a visitor can gain by signing up with you can be part of the entire page, right? So it has to be, if we can craft it in the headline, nothing like it, right? The stuff which we saw in the last in the last example. Then unless unless you have your feature itself is a benefit, right? You would avoid writing a feature based information on the page versus writing benefit. So benefit is what is the value which they will get, and feature is this is what it does, right? So the benefit is so a lot of times we've seen there's a confusion between features and benefits between the on landing pages and in discussions with various marketers. But the idea is that if you write the benefit and the customer understands the benefit clearly. So for example, take an example. If you're offering a Java program, to your audience, if the student is searching for a Java program, you can say, we'll make you. So what are the benefit they're looking for, and what is the feature? So the feature is we offer you Java training program which does A, B, and C things. The benefit could be we will train you in Java and make you a professional in 1 month. Now what you're actually giving him is, okay, in 1 month I'll actually get trained in this particular technology. So that's the difference, right? So a benefit can be or the other benefit could be, if you do my program you will get a job, right? That's a key benefit somebody who doesn't have a job is looking for. Then the other element which we should be looking at is the perceived value versus the cost. So this will be an important. So you're offering a benefit. I understand that the visitor understands that, but in exchange of that benefit, or in exchange of what you're trying to capture, the lead, is there enough for them to submit the information and receive the benefit, or receive the basically the offer which you're trying to say? So the perception of the of your page, in the minds of the visitor, needs to be, the value needs to be high enough for them to actually fill the form, which basically whatever the contact information they are sharing, in return what they will get actually needs to be perceived as high. Now, take an example here. So this is a website which offers healthy food stuff to folks based on zip code. So they'll give you offers, where if you put a zip code, then they'll tell you what are the offers running in your area, right? So now the benefits are very clear. So they're offering healthy groceries, and then they're offering you a huge discount or the offers which they will bring you are discounted offers. So now the benefit is clear, and then that's why you would go ahead and fill the form if you're looking for this kind of stuff. Then we've taken some example from Conversion Excel, which they've done a couple of case. They do a lot of work for customers. So we have taken a couple of their case studies and tried to learn from them as in what they've done here. So they got a assignment, or they worked with a company which is Truck Drivers Association in US, to basically so this is the experiment which they've done there, where they're attracting the truck drivers for to sort basically for helping them find a good job. Then if you see, there are four there are four variations here. The first one, the variation 1, 2, and 3, right? Now it may seem obvious to somebody that the variation number 2, which only asks for email, will actually get a higher fill rate because it's only asking one field. But in reality, that is not what happens. The one which is on the last, the variation 3, actually gets the most opt-ins. Why? Because the one who's signing up knows what he's signing up for. So you're saying create your profile and start. So basically, somebody who's coming up is going to get the job offers for their respective interest, not necessarily all kinds of job offers floating around for that kind of for their skill. Now that makes this one pretty interesting, and the marketer is also able to collect more information. So this is a good example of where even with more fields you can actually get higher conversion, because what you're trying to help the audience select, basically giving them enough information to make a right choice for themselves, and that is why they will actually fill the form. Now, form itself. Now, form is one of the most crucial. I mean, obviously, headline is significant in grabbing the attention, but form, once the visitor has got your attention, right? So it could be a headline, it could be a nice image, or these are a couple of things which actually binds the visitors. If you're able to bind their attention, then the next thing they would look for is, okay, what is that I'm going to get, right? So form header and call to action on the form are crucial from that point onwards. So for a conversion performance, these are very, very important. So now the what are the ideal elements of a landing page form, right? So first and foremost, I think the form, most of the forms you would see or would notice are not action centric as much. So they're more plain old style submit buttons kind of situation, and do not or just say download. There is no action in download. I mean, there is some, but can we improve on that basic, right? So action centric is important, and then it needs to sync in the with the language, with the offer on the landing page, the message which we are trying to convey on the page. It needs to sync with that, and it should be visible on the first fold. Now there are viewpoints contrary, in which are contrarian to this one, but assuming that all the marketers out there do not have the design skills to craft the best design element on the first page, and enable the visitor to scroll down and then fill the form, I think it'll be safe for a lot of us to have a form on the first fold, right? So because let's face it, right, with all the tools available and all the design help, unless you can spend a good amount of money on design, you are looking at you won't be able to basically create the most compelling page. So what will be important for us to basically do is, in whatever limited resources we have, what is the best we can get. So one of the practice I would recommend is to have the form on the first fold, if you unless you know what you're doing, right? So you should try to get this information out on the first page, the form, first fold. Then as I said, right, once you get the attention of the visitor, the next they will look at the form and the offer. Now the offer needs to be visible in the form header somehow. If it is not, then they won't know, because they look at the form header and then only they'll start filling the form. So this is important, so that they know what they're filling for. So that's why the form header needs to have the offer, and then we should ask for minimum required fields, and ideally use the mandatory options and optimally. So obviously, now this one is very dependent on business to business case. Now we have customers who actually have such a long form that people will get scared. But they have a logic for that. What they're saying is, I don't want to spend my time talking to a lead which gives me like two pieces of information. I want to talk to lead which has taken time in filling 7 or 8 fields, and then which tells me that they are actually serious for evaluating my program or whatever I'm selling them. So now that's a question of the business, which the business can decide what is the what is the take on that. Because it more fields will affect the performance. If you are asking 8 fields mandatory, it will definitely affect the performance. However, will it if it helps you increase the sales, or actually does not it, if it helps you keep the cost low from a marketing standpoint, because if you have more leads and more people need to call out, let's say if that's your model, then you will need more people to actually make those calls. Now if you only capture fewer leads, then you have few salespeople can do the job. So that's the sort of trade-off you have to make in this in building the form. So this is a simple example for again one of our customer pages where the form is standing out. So the form is visible. It is not hidden somewhere. So if I had the background color not in yellow, then it would mix up with everything else, which is white background, right? So it won't be as much visible. So it stands out. It gives you an offer about talking to the career coach, and then the button has a action driven text, so saying call me, so which basically means that I'm ready to receive your call. So now that may that will be good for that's sort of an action orientation in the in the in the submission side. So it stands out, it's action centric. Let's take a couple example. This is a company called Content Verb. Again, they are special. This guy is a good blogger, writes a lot of stuff in the conversion optimization space and marketing in general. He's got a couple of case studies done, and I've picked a few for today's discussion, today's webinar. So here is a simple one. If you look at this order form, right? It says on the left says create my account, and another one says create account and get started. The one on the right, as noted below, increase the conversion by 31%, right? So now this is basically the crafting of your call to action text, will basically give you a higher performance if you just tweak those things, on the submit button. Now, one thing again need to be noted is it's not only about writing that line. It is also equally important that the other pages, other parts of the page are equally well done, and then you have to play around with the text on the call to action. Second case again from the same same company we've taken is the variation in the color and the formation of the button. So if you see the left button is more I would say rectangular, and the right one is a little bit bigger and has sort of its edge is curved around the corners, and the color is changed. Now the one on the right gives roughly 35% more conversion. That's a great case study and a success story if you see here. So that's your form piece. Now moving to the trust element. Now this is the fourth element, which is very important from to drive the conversion. Is that what others are saying about you is what people would like to believe, not what you say about yourself. So that's your testimonial. That's the stuff which builds the trust in for the visitor. So things of what will be what elements will help build the trust with the audience, right? So you will have your customer logos, people, customer testimonials, product reviews if you have got reviews from other site, or if you've got some sort of award or recognition, some press coverage from leading magazines, or got social proof about what you're offering and what people are talking about, some sort of certification if you're doing, right, if you've got some certification. So all of that helps in building the credibility on the page. Now one more thing, I mean, if you have all of this, doesn't mean the page is filled with all that elements. It has to be done in balance. So if you write everything, then the customer sees nothing. That's the idea, the visitor sees nothing. So we need to be very selective. And also my suggestion here to the to the marketers would be that we should help our customers write the testimonials which we would like to display. So let's say if you're building a page, with certain which offers a certain message, right? Then the testimonial text should also help the overall message in the in that page. For example, if you're saying that if you take my program, I'll I won't guarantee the selection. Not many people will take that claim, but the chances of your taking you're passing an exam, let's say, improves. Then your testimonial of a client should actually focus on saying that the basically saying that by taking the course or the program, the learning was structured in such a way that I was able to absorb it and do and excel in my exams, or stuff like that. So that basically furthers the message which you want to relay on the page. So if you have the ability to connect with the customers, your customers and clients, and ask them to write a testimonial which gives you sort of a marketing, helps you in the marketing, then you should actually try to do that, rather than, because if you have a misfit testimonial, it doesn't do a good job and might even hurt you instead of helping. This is an example of a testimonial here, as you can see here. So it's a student testimonial. It basically says that by doing a program, I was able to realize the potential that I can do a lot more in my life than what I thought I could. That's a great example of how the Sunstone Business School program helps people from in their career progression. Another example, it's basically part of the same page, but below you would find the companies which recruit from Sunstone Business School and the coverage they've received in Economic Times. So that basically sort of gives them additional reasons for actually signing up for the offer which is there on this page. And the final, and in my opinion, one of the fundamental, this thing can actually have a significant impact on the conversion, is the imagery, or the media elements, or I would call it, could be image or video on the page, and can have substantial, improvement in the conversion. Now, for us to find images, obviously, getting images is never easy, and building them with the help of a designer is also not an easy or rather expensive proposition. So you can go to sources like Deposit Photos, and sort of buy a subscription, and buy images from there to to actually help you, increase the find the relevant images, so that it can help you convey the message which you're trying to convey on the page more effectively and easily. So this is a simple case study. Again, if you see this page on the left, the original design. Now there's a lot of clutter on the page in the left anyway, in the first place. So the right one has an image which binds the visitor at some level. So on the left, you don't see where to actually look at. There are 4 testimonials, and then there are lots of arrows going left, right, and center. One arrow says look at this, other arrow says look at that. So it's kind of a very messy page. But on the right, you see it's pretty simple. I mean, the page has an image. Firstly, you would like to look at the right page more than the left one. Now, once that is done, then you can look at the testimonial out there and what this person is saying, and then other benefit statements are there, which will, which, if you like all of that, then you just go and sign up. And in reality, this page gives 102% more conversion than the one on the left. So that's a simple example of what images can do for your pages. This one, I'm sure a lot of people would like, and I actually like the most while I was preparing for this presentation, is that if you see this particular example, right? So it was a study done by QuickSprout. There are 2 elements or 3 elements on this page, really. One is the person, the lady who's looking into our eyes. Second is the product itself, which is the shampoo, Sunsilk, and then third is the wake up the red in your hair. So that sort of stuff is there. What they've done is they've tracked the eye movement of people who are looking at, what are they looking at in the screen. The first thing which will most people would actually look at is the eye of the person, or that sort of area, right? Not and so this is where the attention is going, but not on the product itself, because the person is getting all the attention. Now take another example. Now The difference in the two is, right, in the second one, the eye is actually looking at the product. It's a pretty creative thing which they have done. Now, when you look at the person and she's looking at the product, the next thing you will do is look at the product. So, which is what the marketer wants to do. And with this, the objective of the marketer in basically letting the person look at the product increases substantially than the first image. So now, if you see this, you can analyze and understand that the image itself can have a substantial impact if done right on the conversion and the objective which you want to achieve. It's a great example of this. So now, with this, I come to the end of my presentation. So just quick recap on what we just discussed. So I would like you to just go on, look at the following elements on all your landing pages today, and just go and take advantage of improved performance. So headline, benefits, form and call to action, trust and testimonial elements, in the media and images and video elements on your page, and get reduce the cost of your lead and increase the conversion on your pages. So with that, I will I'll sort of take questions out there, so we can look at that. Let me just quickly see what questions we have which are not answered. Maybe we can check them. Okay, so we've got a question. I offer video. So the question is from Viral. He says offer video, and so if you offer videos as your product, then you can offer previews, free previews. If your question is what can I offer to my leads, what kind of offer I can put on the page. So I think free previews could be a good offer. Hi, then Amit is asking a question. I have one landing page. Can you help? What is the problem here? You can contact our salespeople, Amit. They can connect with you, and they can talk to you about how we can help you improve the performance of a landing page. Well, I guess that's all. I don't think anybody's asking any questions. Do you see questions, Minu? Why don't you tell me what questions are, because for some reason I'm not able to see them here.
Yeah. Mihir Bala is asking, can we use pop-up windows in landing pages?
So you can use pop-ups while somebody is exiting the page. So that's the last attempt for you to ask them to share their information. But if somebody lands on a page, you would want them to actually look at what you're trying to tell them, rather than show them a pop-up. And I'm talking about traffic which you bring in from, let's say, ad sources or and those sources, and not somebody who is on your website and then you are showing them pop-up. So there are two different things. I'm assuming you're referring to the first one, not the second one.
Uh, Akshar is asking, what is the correct place for testimonial on the website?
I think that's a question for the website people to answer. I mean, it can be anywhere. It can be on the first page itself, but wherever it is, it should be visible, I would say.
So Amit has a question. Is it necessary to add client information on landing page? Or if I can add social proof, will the visitor get diverted from the target page?
I think it depends on the business you are in, and what is the value of social proof for the kind of audience you're targeting. If social proof means nothing for them, then you would rather not do it. And let's say if you are selling some high value products to them, could be, let's say, a few $100,000, or some basically high value product or service, then social proof, I'm not very sure, would be great example. But if you say now IBM bought my product or IBM bought my service, I think that would be much more important in my opinion. But however, if you're selling to consumers, then social proof will actually have a very significant. I'm not saying it is zero or nil for B2B, but I'm just saying that kind of social proof would be need to be looked into the context of the product or service.
Okay, so Rutvik has a question. How can we calculate conversion rates?
Well, for that you need to use a tool. or you have to set up the conversion appropriately in respective places where you are driving the traffic from. So if you're talking about conversion from organic traffic, right, then you need to you can use tools like Lead Squared to help you find the conversion, or you can go ahead and set up Google Analytics, Google Performance, and all of that stuff if you know how to do that. And thirdly, if you're getting traffic from AdWords and Facebook ads and whatnot, then you need to set up the conversion tracking appropriately for AdWords and for Facebook to sort of get that done. Or these are the variety of ways. There are some of the ways I'm telling. There are more, but these are some of the free tools are available, so you can probably take advantage of that.
Um, so there's another question. Does pop-up inquiry windows actually help in SEO or in lead conversion?
I think the pop-up. I've never. I don't know. I doubt they'll help you in SEO. They do. I mean, I don't think so much, but in conversion, absolutely they do. If you have somebody's trying to roam around on your website and you've got something cool to offer to them, which they would otherwise not look for, but you throw that in front of them, and if they like it, they will actually take it. So, which means they'll convert. So, yes, it will help.
Viral has another question. For online corporate training, what's the best position for testimonial and lead capture form?
What's the best?
Position for testimonial and lead capture form.
I mean, there is no best position really. I'm assuming you're asking where to position the testimonial on the landing page and not necessarily on the website. I think you'll have to, it should be, ideally it should be visible above the fold. If you're doing corporate training, then what your other potential corporate trainers would look for is, some sort of validation of your firm with respect to others, saying, whether this company, what kind of customers they've catered, and so on and so forth. So I think that would help. And then if you're selling directly to students, right? For example, I'm just thinking, if I were a student and you have to try this out, but I would really look for the program which and sort of a preview of that. And once I like that, then probably I'll look at the testimonials and stuff. So I think that would be my sort of a long answer to the short question. Well, do we have more
Okay.
questions?
Yes, yes, we do. So Upendra is asking, what are your findings on which methods of sign up are working? Facebook, Google, email, and are users comfortable with sharing their social identities?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. I mean, this is if I understand the question. So let me rephrase it from what I've understood. Which channel is working best from a conversion standpoint? If that is the question, then it varies for business to business. So for consumer-led businesses, social could be a good way to look at. But for a lot of other B2B businesses, we have seen or heard from our customers that social doesn't give them a lot of leads or relevant leads rather. And Google Ads, obviously, so there you will find people who are looking for the stuff which you offer, but the question there will be, whatever you are spending, are you actually making enough out of it? And so if you are, then that's again a good channel to sort of go for.
Okay, Akshar has a question. Is it necessary that color of logo, thank you page, photos on website should have a similar kind of color scheme? Uh, okay, a company logo color should be consistent or not?
I mean, if you have a company logo, which most I would assume is there, you can use that logo in all the pages. So just to make sure they are consistent. So I think, but I think sometimes I heard a lot of marketers, and personally, we have used our logo in variety of colors on all our landing pages, right? I mean, sometimes it's just black and white, sometimes it's other colors. But what we have seen is the conversion is not a function of what just the logo. There's so many other things. Yes, for aesthetics and to drive a brand identity, you may want to have you want to be color conscious, and which is the right thing to do. But what is the impact of that on conversion? I doubt it has like a substantial impact. So if your color of the logo is slightly, because let's say if you're getting a fresh traffic, the guy doesn't even know about you. So he won't even have looked at your website in first place to know what the actual color of the logo is. So how does, I mean, in my opinion, that doesn't create a much, from a conversion standpoint, right? I mean, there are other elements which are there in terms of brand consistency and all of that. So that is another thing. But just if somebody's coming fresh, doesn't know about you, won't even know about your logo. So it's not going to matter to them from a conversion standpoint.
Uh, okay. Mihir Bala has a question. What is the appropriate image to text ratio in landing page?
I think if you can convey your message without any text, go for it. Nobody wants to read the long lines. And I'm sure you can if you go to the old style websites, who write in very small Times Roman font, which is barely readable, you would probably understand what I'm trying to say. If there's anything which you can convey in only an image, I think you shouldn't write any text. But it's not that easy to do that. So some text is important. So fewer text, absolutely. More images, yes. Now the only thing you need to make sure you take care of that is when you're putting a heavy loaded images. Let's say if you have like 1 gig image, then forget it. There's no conversion because the image is not going to load, right? So image doesn't mean that you put like the biggest image you will find on or the best quality image. It needs to balance with the landing page load time as well. So yeah, I sort of gave two information there, but I hope I answered the question.
Okay. So Akshar has another question. Is the photo of person necessary in testimonials?
I think it helps in the cause because it gives the visitor a little bit more, perception or better perception of what you're trying to sell. Number one. Number two, I would recommend, if you're putting up photos, then try to get high quality photos, right? I mean, it just helps you, right? If you've got a smiling face, it basically helps you engage or retain the attention of the visitor for a longer duration. So if you have a nice looking picture, there's a likelihood that somebody's going to stick around for like few microseconds more or milliseconds or a second more than there's no picture, or rather a poor picture. So I would recommend one spend money also if needed to get the photos clicked of your customers, or ask them to send them, Instagram their pictures to you, or whatever. But I think pictures definitely will help.
Okay. Tushar is asking the acceptable load time for a landing page.
0 seconds. Um, I think there are a lot of there'll be a lot of information on that, but I think uh, less than 3 to 4%, 3 to 4 seconds is what you need to aim for, I would say. If it's beyond that, then you will start seeing. And I think one of the things we covered in a few webinars ago, I had some stats. I don't remember them now, but there was a double-digit dip in conversion if you go from 2 seconds to 4 seconds, and substantial beyond 4 to 5 seconds. So that's your so if you can have a server which can throw the pages faster, then take them. Now this will become more and more important if you're if you have a high volume coming in on the page of traffic. If it's not a whole lot, then
Okay. So Bala Sahib is asking that he's shifting his old website to new with HTML5. Will it affect my current Google results?
I think we can I would not answer that question as it doesn't relate to the webinar's topic today, so we'll move on to the next one. Okay, awesome. So I think we've covered most of the questions out there. And if you have any, feel free to send it to us. If they're relevant and useful for all of the other members of who have joined today, we'll be more than happy to include that in our in our blog post. So thank you all for joining, and I hope you enjoyed this. And keep coming to our webinars. We'll be sending some notification for the next round shortly. Thank you all, and have a awesome day and a nice weekend.